Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Orme and today we're playing some Starters Orders 7, a brand new series. Brand new schedule, not using the start date mod, using something I've made up myself. And a little bit different than we planned because I had a little bit of a problem with the in-game schedule editor and the way it was putting things together. I went and tried to put a schedule together by hand. But it seems like for me, at least, and not too many other people have had this problem, and those that haven't really had a good fix for it. But in my case, when I was running a British schedule with extra races running in, the game would slow down tremendously at points and actually end up crashing once or twice in my test save. It wouldn't go past season 3 or 4 without crashing. And Season 1 was so slow, it was unbelievable. Now, what we've done instead is put together an American schedule, again. We're playing in America. There's a few extra issues. There's not so many maidens for 2-year-olds in it as a default schedule because some of those were removed. But I have put in a lot more of a worldwide feel to it. So we can see early on in the season, we're fairly similar to a regular schedule. But sooner or later, you start seeing some of these races cross in from abroad. Like the Randwick Guineas now is in the schedule. That is leg 1 of the Australian Triple Crown, over a mile. That is in there. There's plenty of races a little early. Then we get the Rosehill Guineas along with the Golden Slipper. A couple of good races from Australia again. Leg 2 of theirs. And then we get back to Randwick again. And this is where you find the Australian Derby. Leg 3 of their Triple Crown. So we have that in and a few other good Australian races. Then we start heading over, you see, in May. We get the 2,000 Guineas, which is the British leg 1 of their Triple Crown, as well as a few other good races. And that's where we start picking up as well. We've got the Kentucky Derby in that range. Then we've got the Irish Triple Crown races beginning. And off to the Preakness. Then we got the meeting at Longchamp, including the Poule des Poulains and Pouliches, which are the 2 races for Colts and Fillies to begin their Triple Crown in France. And then we get the Epsom Derby as well as some other races as we finish off the American Triple Crown. And we got the second legs basically at Chantilly for France's Triple Crown there. And then again, Ascot, you can see some great races, including the Gold Cup. We've got a bit of distance. If we get distance horses, you've got the Queen Anne, St James's Palace, Prince of Wales, Diamond Jubilee, Royal Ascot, very, very much alive. We put that meeting in there. We've also got the Irish Derby, and sort of completing all these Triple Crown races at this point in the year. And then we've got the Grand Prix de Paris, the big race in France at Longchamp. You can see here we got Goodwood Cup. We've got the little bit of a glorious Goodwood on 30th of July before stepping into August for the King George, Queen Elizabeth big race in Ascot. And then back over here you see in Ireland we finish off with the St Leger, the 3rd round of their Triple Crown. Spread out a little bit more than some of the others, let's say. But again, I really like it. And we got the Juddmonte there. We got a few races at York to go along with it. Irish Champion. I think that's a good race to have in there. And then as well, you got the St Leger, the 3rd round of the British Triple Crown in there. 2 days at Maidan for the World Cup meeting. I decided to split those up a bit. Some grade 2s, some grade 1s. Not too many grade 3s on foreign soil or any at all, really. A handful of grade 2s, but mainly the grade 1s. Newmarket, we put in a good meeting there so that we can have some fun later on in the season abroad. And then end of October is the Arc de Triomphe and the meetings surrounding it. You can see there's some really good horses going to be running there. The Prix Royal Oak is in there. The Abbey is in there as well. And Ascot, you can see British Championship Day. Here we got the Sprint, we got the Fillies and Mares, the QE2 and the Champions Stakes all running on that day. So we're pretty decent in terms of races there. I was going to add Canada into the list, but I had some problems then. The rest of the season, pretty dead after we finish off November 5th for the Breeders' Cup, which is at the end of our racing season. So, yeah, it's not the greatest schedule in the world, but it adds in all the big meetings that I wanted. There's a Glorious Goodwood in there. We do have the Autumn Carnival from Australia. We do have a couple of good race meetings elsewhere. We've got the Arc de Triomphe for the sorted races. We've got a couple of days in Dubai. So when you add everything up, I think this is one of the better, sort of more prestigious races that we could get. And all the races around those kind of big feature races. One thing I would like to do is, like I say, if I could do this on a British schedule without the clashes, that'll be good. We do need more maidens added to it, so this will be a work in progress, this schedule. I will be continuing to build it, and hopefully this is something we can play on going forward. There's no races in Asia, like Singapore. You know, we could set up meetings there. Japan. There's a few big races over there that we're missing currently. But, you know, I had to do something. They would have sat at the end of the year. So that's kind of why I kept this open for at least, you know, a trip to Hanshin, a trip to, I don't know where else, really, to be honest with you. There's a few good races for Tokyo. There's a few for Kyoto. There's a few all over the place. So we were going to try and put something together over here in Singapore or Japan. That didn't really work out. There's no South African races. We decided, you know, Dubai was where we were going to go for the big kind of World Cup meeting. And I didn't want to add too many nations in. Canada as well. We kind of stepped away from that. So even though it's pretty much an American schedule, but with some big races, I don't think I've missed anything. I should have the British, French, Australian, and American Triple Crowns, as well as Triple Tiaras for the fillies and big race meetings. So if there's anything I have missed that you think, I know some things are not on the right dates. We've got October races in April. We've got April races in October. I tried to fit them in the schedule where I thought there was enough of a gap to do things. It's going to be difficult to run. For example, like here, early May is just when everybody races, basically. So you've got the opening legs of, of the British, the Irish, and the American Triple Crowns. That's just when they happen. And I'd like to scatter them about, but we really can't. So we've got 2 shots at like a mile around this time to open up a Triple Crown campaign. We've got the mile 2 there, of course, for America in it. I might want to move those about in different parts of the schedule. Less realistic, but let's say start like something in a mile or so and put that in early on in the season. Maybe move Australia right to the back end of the schedule. And that way we can attack, not with the same horse, but in the same season with the same group of 2-year-olds, we can easily attack multiple Triple Crowns. And like I say, if there's anything we have missed, if I can add Canada in, maybe add South Africa early to the schedule. If you want to put them in, maybe move Australia, like I say, to the back end, put Canada somewhere in there, and then Japan, Singapore to end off the season could be interesting. But yeah, I think it's a decent schedule. It seems to work well We're going to run it for the next few seasons, let's say the next 3 seasons, and decide if the schedule does need changing or not. At the moment, though, I'm pretty happy with how it is. We do have people booked in. I will say, Season 1 of the test for this is we did actually just basically get falls with absolutely everyone and see who showed up and who looked good. There were 2 in particular I really liked in terms of sires that we checked out. So we're breeding from Kirkwall. That meant that I could bring out Cruising Queen, who had already bred with Kirkwall, into the schedule. So we do have a 3-year-old to run at Triple Crown level. Even though we're barely into the 3-year-old season, it looks like we're on an American Triple Crown kind of deal right now, because we've got the distance already. So this is Cruising Queen. This is our oldest starter that we have right now. She is an absolute beast. Low confidence, but an absolute beast. No distance adaptability, which is a shame. But I'm excited to see what she can do. But yeah, everybody else went back into the breeding barn here. And I believe it's Mad 2. I might be wrong about this. I do have it written down. Is it Mad 2? No, it's Court Spy. Court Spy is someone else who bred with another good game bred. Word is my bond. And we will be basically pulling out, for a 4-year-old season, we'll be pulling Court Spy out to race as Cruising Queen, and I'm getting used to these names, comes back into the breeding pool. So we're not double dipping with those sires. The 2 that we're breeding from to start with, they are getting pulled into the racing stable for that breeding season. We have more than enough. I brought some of the 2-year-olds in. I've got a bunch of 3-year-olds. They're all absolutely fantastic. Stat-wise, these are all from our new list of horses that we've spent a little time breeding. They're all on here. Basically, every filly is from here. And you can see now a few of the different horses that we've done. A couple in the test, like Burley Gold Downwards, are all test breeding horses. And then we've got Mactown, Cruising Kirk, as 2 of the ones that we... Oh, and Dreaming Carl. No, Hidden Meanings. Hidden Meanings. Cruising Kirk and Hidden Meanings are the 2 coming from Court Spy and Cruising Queen right now. And then there's a few others that bred quite well, but not as good. So they made the list. Or they're not from... One of them's not from this save, so that's why they're not... We're not breeding from their sire. But yeah, we've managed to put things together. So Cruising Queen is going to go into a 1 mile 2 furlong maiden, because there are 3-year-old maidens, much more than there are 2-year-old maidens. This does look a little bit more like a British schedule in that regard. Spartan Soul, 2-year-old, very, very good. Again, absolutely delighted and can't wait to see how well maybe they run, but they're running at a 5 furlong grade 3, because they're the best looking 2-year-old in my opinion. Port Authority, another very good sort of 2-year-old. They've got a maiden. Drift Jumper, laid back, decent stats, 5 furlong maiden. And we are going to start with Vox Arcana, who is a 5 furlong maiden themselves. So, as I said, we're going to breed from Kirk, we're going to breed from Word is My Bond, and then we are going to maybe start seeing these horses, or a couple of these horses, jump into the breeding barn at that point, and we will see what happens there. But I think we've got a Triple Crown, an American Triple Crown runner. And the good thing is now, at least to start with, if you look at the schedules for the other Triple Crowns, they do start normally at about a mile. So we're able to probably jump into those a little easier if we don't gain distance with our 3-year-olds. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go, how well this is going to all come together. We do have really, really good stats on our horses to begin with. They have really good ability. So yeah, basically, I think what it comes down to now is how good do we do? And how much do we like this schedule, and do we want to improve it? So, in the background, I will be adding other races to the schedule. I will be moving things about. I will be doing little test saves that we will not be showing. At worst, this will be pretty much a breeding save with some racing thrown in. If it turns into that, that's fine, and we will start out a new one. But let me know what you think, comment section down below of this. Right now we're going to go towards the first race of the day. We're overweight. We didn't book jockeys. We didn't hire a jockey. That's the problem when you're doing save after save. You don't remember to do these kind of things. We win anyway, being overweight by 3.5 lengths. Some performance. I mean, ugh. Wow. Okay. Okay. Who's a really good jockey? Looks like it's gonna be Valley. Okay. There we go. Valdivia is there, and then what do we want here? What weight do we want? Is 9 about the most we're gonna get? Because Dominguez ain't bad. So I'm gonna highlight Dominguez and see kind of how we match up. And is anyone else way too good? Oh, Gomez. Gomez is better than Dominguez. Gomez is better than Dominguez. Gomez is better than Dominguez. A 9 stone, I mean, that's kind of heavy. But it's where a lot of these really good jockeys seem to be. I can't remember whether we like horses that are... If we got anyone at like 8.3, I think, 8.3, 8.8. I can't remember where we carry the least amount of weight in a race. That's probably a maiden, right? Now, the obedience is all the way down, but everything else is up. So Sutherland's not too bad. Sutherland's not too bad in that case. I mean, Melicon's not too bad either. So let's put him up as like an 8.3. Let's go find out what our carry weight is. So 8.8 and 8.11. So 8.8 is kind of where we want to be. If we can get a jockey who's on like 8.8, I think we're in a good position. So I want to start checking jockeys around there and see. Although this is going to be really fiddly if it keeps on kicking us back out. So there's nobody really good at that. Okay. So I guess we're starting to work our way down the weight. I think Aramia at the moment is probably our best bet. So I'm just looking for the best jockey with skill, with honesty and a bit of obedience. Espinosa's not bad. But yeah, we're looking for the best we can get. So I think we've got really good horses. Now we just need to kind of back that up with a really good jockey. Because if we can do that, I think there's a lot of success to be had here. Doesn't look like anyone's blowing me away right now. If I've missed anybody, let me know. We can always go and change this in future videos. I mean, I'm not going to give jockey orders very often, so I don't really need that high of obedience. I guess we can get away with not having it. There are some decent options, but again, we're not really, at least I'm not getting blown away by anyone. And we trade some honesty there. I think honesty is more my kind of thing right now. As we learn these horses and what they want, how they want to run, I think that's going to be more important to me. I think that's going to be more important to me. So Mexican, yeah, I think we're probably going to stick with Aramia. That's what it kind of looks like. Let's go to 8-3s. I don't really want to look below that. So yeah, I think that might be the way I want to go then. So we're going to go with Aramia, retain jockey, and auto book him in. We are fully set up in the British Enclave ALPHA. Everything's fully done. We've got tons of money. And we are sitting here in our favourite spot, even though the race courses aren't the same. We still got Louisville and Kentucky right next to us. But this is the default map. This is not the one from the Start It mod, sadly. Again, I need to figure out exactly how that works so I can like place them all in myself without the extra courses that Start It adds in. Yeah, we can put those all together for a more realistic schedule there. Okay then. Bit of a relaxed sort of slow pace to this first video. We're going to go here then. Drift Jumper in the maiden. We don't seem to be overweight in this one. And we don't win this one. Rofontaine did well. Ran in snatches. Did we run green? We didn't. So, okay. So the Grom didn't suit. We like a firm track that was soft. That's probably going to be enough in terms of throwing us off and not allowing us to run. I'm fairly certain that if we check, yeah, we're going to be a dirt runner on most of these. I mean, we don't know Spartan Soul, Port Authority, or Cruising Queen yet, but I'd be surprised if they weren't kind of dirt horses. Okay, so that one was on turf, and not only that, it was very soft as well. That's fine. That's fine. Second place, not too bad. The third of our maidens, again on turf. We're heading to Selma, apparently. So let's see what we can get done here. Looks like we're a bit laid back, but we're on weight here. And we win by 3 lengths quite easily. Like the slower track, this is on turf. I'm not really sure what the going was. Good to firm. So, yeah, pretty good run. Despite not totally suiting. Friday auction. Don't expect anything right now. Okay. Little interruption there. Apologies for that, but we are back and, yeah, nothing at auction. So far we've ran well. If I do look at more races we can run. So you've got a selling race, a selling race. There is another 5 furlong maiden. Then a selling race. So as I say, there's very, very few maidens here. So less of a focus on 2-year-olds in the opening season, I think. We'll see how we come together. That will be a dirt track. That'll probably be a little better suited. So we will book that in. Cruising Queen. Our 3-year-old. Running in their maiden. As I say, there's plenty of 3-year-old maidens. They still appear. And yeah, the field doesn't look amazing. And we win by 4 and a half length. So yeah, we didn't see anybody that was like big and ready to go in that one. Pretty happy. Ridden as closer apparently. So we'll see kind of how that all comes together. But we've won at the mile 2 in our 3-year-old season. So having a maiden there instead is a pretty good place to be. See, we're gaining a little bit of ability along our way. And now the first race, pretty much the only race in this video we will be watching live. This is more of a setup and get your feedback. And we are boiled over. Lovely. Love that. Don't you just absolutely love that being boiled over? Spartan Soul, such a good 2-year-old, is pretty much now out of this race, I would say. Unless they're an ungodly great horse, then we might have a shot. But we're here, grade 3, 5 furlongs against the rail, boiled over. Spartan Soul is off and running. Saved On goes to the front with Blonderuri. And we got Core Classy. And we're being led out here by Calnus, Halfhead. Few other horses. We are at the back of a group. We are really out of it. We're actually not running too badly for someone that is blown up before the start even happens. Not too bad, indeed. I know that would be quite a difference in terms of like where they would finish normally. I don't know if it's 6.5 lengths back or not. I don't know that much. I can only really judge it by what I saw and think that we'd be up near the front in a grade 3, which for your first race of the season is not too bad realistically of a start. I mean, we are up to 80 already, look. We have made a jump all the way up to 80 ability, so hey, that is kind of okay. That's kind of okay. Maybe once 6 furlongs, I don't know if we can get it. Sadly, I don't know if we can get it. And we're going to move over into February. As you can see, the game's working really quickly through this part. Much quicker than a British schedule, which is kind of strange because normally those UK schedules are very much the quicker of the two. When people mod it, it's the American ones that kind of bog down. And British can handle a lot more. I'm having the opposite problem. I don't really know why. I really don't know why. Vox Arcana is going to go out with a slight limp in the front legs. 9 weeks for sore shins. Ugh. Okay. We skipped over the race, so we might as well just jump out of the day and come back here. 3.5 lengths, even though we were laid back, easily, ran well. The tracksuit did, we were on dirt. Not too bad, a 91 rating. Our first rating on this new save is a 91 rating from a second maiden for Drift Jumper. We've got wins in their maidens from Port Authority and Vox Arcana, as well as Cruising Queen. And the graded race of Spartan Soul didn't really work out, but that's okay. What have we got at 6? We got a cheeky maiden somewhere. There's another grade 3 in the end of March. I think I'm going to book Spartan Soul in that and see how we run in that a little later on. And then again in mile 2 there's a sailing race, and there is the Florida, which we're going to enter into there. So let's run those. We haven't really got too much at the moment in terms of horses that we have run or want to run at this point in the season, so we're just going to go through, when is that? 5th of March. Which means we've got time to get some breeding done. As you can see, the game is going round quite nicely at the moment. Let's head over to Florida. Cruising Queen then. Not wiped out at all. Actually ready to run. Looks okay. We're on low weight. Our jockey sort of... Yeah, we're going to carry a lot of dead weight. We're not going to carry live weight in a lot of these races, sadly. But I really do like our jockey, and I think this is the best course for us. So, we'll see how that works. But we're at Florida. He doesn't obey orders very much. We're not really going to do much there. Tipsters, Amankila and Littleton Arwen look like the favourites here with Novair Breeze in between. So we've got the foreign horse, we've got the grade 3 horse, and then the ungraded but high rated horse. Why Westmead Tango being the best grade from the domestics and being top rated? I'm not sure why they're not a lot more fancied in this race, to be honest with you. Drake's White's boiled over, everyone else looks okay, we're parading well and fit. Let's see then how we race against a grade 1 and how we race against a decent field in the rain here on the dirt. It's the 1 mile, 2 furlong, Florida grade 2, 3-year-olds and above. We're in the middle, we're out okay. That's not a bad start. Looks like we've got Landerman Dictator and Drake's White up near the front. Westmead Tango with a man killer and ourselves back then to Novair Breeze just ahead of us. Littleton Arwen, another good runner there in the middle of that chasing pack. Billy Cadiz towards the rear. We'll see now then if Novair Breeze comes up with us from the rear and who from this chasing pack steps up. They're all the danger horses, but right now Cruising Queen is the one with all the pace. We come down under 2 furlongs. Here comes Armand Killer. Look at that for a pull. Novair Breeze does come in from deep. We are tailing off slightly. We're down now to the final furlong and pushing in. This is a tough ask for us. Billy Cadiz in from deep. We're there. It's right at the end. We come through into second place. Billy Cadiz out of nowhere with the win. Great run there. An immense shift put on late in the race. But we do beat Novair Breeze. We do beat the Man Killer. We do beat Littleton Arwen. We're not far back. And yeah, I think when we get a few more runs, we'll be in a better shape than we are now. This is a very early grade 2. We'll be better a little later on in the season. I'm pretty happy with the run. I think we've done pretty well there, to be honest with you. This is a nice little horse that is maybe not winning that race, but we were there. We were there, we were competitive, we looked good. I'm quite happy with that. 93 rated and a chance. Like I say, we're beaten by a 6-year-old, the others were 4-year-olds. They're going to be better than us. Yes, we have a little bit of a weight advantage, but that's not going to make that much of a difference in general. I think we did really well there. I really do think that was a good race for us. What was the breeder's sale like? Yeah, no grade. So we're probably going to ignore sales for this first season. It's probably not what we need to focus on. We're all about the breeding and getting Kirkwall. I think it's like the 20-odd, yeah, 24th. So that allows us to get, oops, one more done in terms of breeding. And set up an ultimate gal. We head to Louisville and see if Spartan Soul can win this grade 3 instead. We're not wound up. We're not looking in a bad way. So let's see what we can do here then. This will be the final one of the opening video. Let me know your feedback, comment section down below of all these horses, of the schedule, of any changes you think we need to make. But for right now, I'm fairly happy with how things are going. In this race, Ancora with Swing Tasha, Calypso Catalan, Dancerella Forts, Powder Jose, like everybody in the mix. We come down towards the final furlong. We do start edging out into first place and driving out here. The race for the line. Absolutely great run. We come from the back, sort of avoid a lot of trouble and drive in quite nicely. A decent field, maybe. We don't really know. But a big win nonetheless. It's a grade 3. It's our first grade of the series in this new world that we're playing in, Spartan Soul. Only an 83 rated, but we get the grade 3 that we wanted. And yeah, they're filled now, potential. They're completely ready to be left until later on in the season, where there are 2-year-old races. There are. If I do this year and show the short orders, like, there's been those 2 grade races, grade 3s, but then the Australian Slipper, I mean, we could have maybe put in for that. We could put someone else in for that over 6. And then you can see the Dali July Cup is in there. The Kentucky BC is another grade 3. Miss Preakness, Hurst Jacobs. We've got the Jaipur. We've got the Aristides. We've got Woody Stevens, grade 2. Then we've got Ascot. Some big races there. Commonwealth Cup, Diamond Jubilee is after the King's Stand, which might suit. Derrinstown Stud Flying 5 Akura in Ireland. The Juvenile Championship, Debutante Bash. So it doesn't matter what level we're running at, and if we're a sprint horse. The good thing is, yes, there may not be so many maidens, but all the way through to the end of the schedule, there are graded races to be won. There are graded races to be won for our 2-year-olds at this distance, at 3-year-olds at this distance. It's available. The last ones for 2-year-olds specifically will be at Newmarket. So it still takes us deep into October. But yeah, let me know what you think. What needs to be changed. But for now, we're going to run with this for a little while and see how we get on. But I'm happy. We've already got a decent amount of horses. Like a third of our barn are already bred. We're into the second. Into the second lot, really. We're halfway done with that. So it shouldn't take too long to get them all bred like I say, next season we bring Court Spy out to race as a 4-year-old. We throw back a Cruising Queen into the breeding program. We breed from Word Is My Bond. And what I will be doing is handpicking a few of these yearlings and bringing them into the game. We might actually just do some of these yearlings who are coming up here. Some make it, some don't. But my favourite two were Cruising Kirk, who looks really solid, and Hidden Meanings, which is why we're breeding from them. Very, very sort of bare bones look about this one, but has everything I kind of want as well. So we got some good horses we can use. We got some good yearlings there. We got some breeding possibilities maybe with these horses. Nobody's going to make a jump this early on in the season. But Cruising Queen coming in as a Mile 2 horse, I think just opens up the American Triple Crown more than others right now. So that's where we're going to leave it. Let me know what you do think. We're in the middle of March. There's been no slowdown so far. That's what I do like about this rather than the British version of the schedule we had. So I think we're going to be okay long term in terms of crashes and speed. But yeah, if there are changes to be made, we will make them. If we need to restart and start over because there's big issues, we will have to do that. But right now, I think this looks good to start with. I apologise we couldn't get a British save completely, but I put a lot of big British races in to try and make up for it, discounting a lot of other nations from even being added to the schedule to make room and to ensure that it all worked. But yeah, we're on our enclave. We're going to run, as I say, I think 2 or 3 seasons before restarting if we need to restart, just to see how this plays out. But let me know, comment section down below. While you're there, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not already and you are enjoying the content. Check the links in the description. There's a link there to our Discord where you can have some fun, get to know other people who like this game, share your stories, share your screenshots. Also, you're able to get advice and help for building your own schedules. There's a lot of information on there, as well as tips and tricks to play a different style than me, as well as a lot more jumps knowledge than I personally can offer you. Also down in there, I have opened up a Patreon. I'm not sure if it's going to make much of a difference, if I'm honest. If you feel like supporting me, then please do head over and check out that link. It would be greatly appreciated. It would make a difference to me. I'm not sure just how much we can get done on that, but I've set up some tiers and stuff. So go check that out. If it's something you think that you can help out with, then please do sign up for it. Give me feedback on that as well. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. See you soon. Behave. And let me know what you think. Bye, guys.